The grandfather clock in the hallway does not tick, it bleeds. Every stroke of the pendulum is a tiny, irreversible theft of your life. Yet you sit there in the dim light of your room, listening to the countdown with a strange, paralyzed indifference. Have you ever wondered why the human mind is so profoundly terrified of physical ghosts, yet completely at peace with the phantom of a wasted life sitting right beside it in the dark? There is an invisible, creeping rot that enters a room the exact moment a man decides that tomorrow is a real place. It has a smell, like dust settling over unopened books, like the cold grease of a meal eaten in front of a flickering screen while your real life suffocates under the floorboards. Most people assume that ruin arrives with a loud, spectacular crash, like a lightning strike or a sudden bankruptcy. It doesn't. Ruin is a master of suspense. It crawls into your bed on a Tuesday morning, whispers that you've worked hard enough, and gently guides your hand to the snooze button, tucking you back into a soft, velvet coffin. Let us play a game of absolute,
terrifying honesty with the dark. If a stranger walked into your house right now, opened up your digital history, tracked your footsteps over the last 7 days, and calculated the exact hours you spent building versus the hours you spent escaping, what would they conclude about your destination? Would they say you are a man on the precipice of an empire? Or would they realize they are looking at a beautifully packaged corpse? You see, the most brilliant trick your mind ever played on you was convincing you that your potential actually matters. Potential is the ultimate drug of the coward. It allows you to feel superior to the people around you based entirely on what you could do, while completely ignoring the pathetic reality of what you are actually doing. Why are you so fiercely protective of your comfort, when that very comfort is the slow-acting poison that is systematically erasing your edge? You look at your reflection and ask where the fire went. But you are the one holding the empty bucket of water, standing over the wet ash of your own ambition. The friction begins the exact moment the screen goes black and the room falls completely silent.
That is when the voices start.
Let the games begin.
Not from outside, but from the deep, uncharted basement of your own consciousness. It asks you why you are still struggling with the exact same bad habits you swore you would destroy 3 years ago. What if the loop you are trapped in is not an accident? What if you secretly love the tragedy of your unfulfilled life because it gives you a poetic excuse to never truly test your limits? It is an addictive, sick cycle. You waste the day, you feel a wave of intense, dramatic guilt, you stay awake until midnight watching motivational videos to cure the guilt, and then you wake up the next morning too exhausted to actually change. You are treating your mind like an amusement park when it was built to be a fortress. Every single time you surrender to a cheap impulse, whether it is a notification, a sugar rush, or an extra hour of sleep, you are not just relaxing. You are actively rewriting the code of your nervous system to ensure your future failure. Look at the walls of your routine. They are closing in on you, millimeter by millimeter, every single day you refuse to push them back.
Why do you treat your own commitments like a suggestion, while treating the demands of others like a religion? If you promised a friend you would meet them at dawn, you would be there without a single complaint. Yet when you make that exact same promise to yourself, you break it before your eyes are even fully open. This is not just a lack of discipline. It is a profound, systemic lack of self-respect. You have taught your brain to realize that your word means absolutely nothing. So whenever you try to set a high goal, your subconscious simply laughs at the absurdity of the gesture. How many more versions of yourself do you intend to murder through neglect before you understand that no one is coming to save you? There is no mentor falling from the sky, no perfect Monday morning that will magically grant you unlimited willpower, and no secret formula hidden inside a self-help book. The architecture of human behavior is completely unbothered by your desires. It cares only about your systems.
When the pressure is applied,
when the fatigue is heavy, and when the absolute boredom of consistency sets in, you do not rise to the height of your dreams. You drop like a stone to the exact level of your daily protocols. If your protocol is to run when it gets hard, you will run every single time. If your protocol is to distract your brain the moment an intellectual task requires real focus, you will remain superficial until the day you die. What if the ultimate horror of your life is that you are already living your worst-case scenario, and you are simply too distracted by the noise of the world to notice the bars of the cage? You are running out of currency, running out of breath, and running out of excuses. Yet you still handle your time as if you possess an infinite supply of tomorrows. To break the spell of this cinematic paralysis, you must perform a cold, calculated execution of your current identity. You must stop identifying as a person who wants to be great and start identifying as a person who physically cannot tolerate being weak.
It requires a dark, mechanical focus that looks almost like madness to the people who are asleep around you. Why should you care about the opinions of the crowd when the crowd is collectively marching off a cliff of medicated mediocrity? True transformation is a deeply lonely, unglamorous process that takes place in the spaces where there are no cameras, no likes, no applause, and no validation. It is the silent choice to stare at a blank page, a heavy weight, or a complex problem until your eyes burn, refusing to look away until the work has surrendered to your will. Now, as the narrative draws to its final cadence, the camera does not pan out to a glorious sunset. It pulls back inside your own mind, focusing on the heavy, high-stakes decision that is waiting for you the second this audio stops playing. The atmosphere is tense because the illusion of safety has been completely stripped away, leaving only the raw, naked truth of your accountability. What is the very next choice you are going to make within the next 60 seconds?
Are you going to click on another video to chase another temporary high of inspiration? Or are you going to shut down the machine, step into the cold friction of reality, and finally start earning the life you claim you want to live? Let us dissect the profound psychological mechanics of what just happened within this story. The reason this narrative feels heavy and curious is because it forces your brain to confront the law of cognitive dissonance, the agonizing friction that occurs when your actions do not match your self-image. Most people try to fix this friction by lowering their standards until they match their poor habits, effectively numbing the pain of their mediocrity. But the elite do the exact opposite. They use that friction as an aggressive weapon of clarity, allowing the discomfort of their current reality to drive them into immediate physical action. If you want to permanently shift your trajectory, you must stop focusing on the massive, overwhelming goals that paralyze you with fear, and begin focusing entirely on the immediate, microscopic systems that govern your next hour. The battle for your future is not won in a grand, legendary war. It is won or lost in the tiny, silent skirmish between your finger and the screen right now. Turn off the noise, face the silence of the room, and let the work begin.